Hi everyone, it's Shannon, aka QB Crossing. I hope you are having a lovely day so far. Today we are back with another aesthetic Dream Island tour, and this one has a really beautiful natural and vintage feel to it. I think you guys are really gonna like this one, so let's just get right into it. So of course the first thing we are going to do is check out the island map. Let's get a lay of the land. So I can tell here from just the map already that the waterscaping is beautiful. We can obviously see here that this is going to be a very natural island just by all of the terraforming that they've done. There's also lots of cute villagers on this island. I'm a big fan of a lot of these. And then we have 3 resident reps. It looks like one of the reps is still in one of those little tents, and I'm just super excited to kind of walk around and see how all this terraforming comes together. There's also the dream address, which is on the screen as well as in the description, along with all of the creator socials, so be sure to give them a follow if you love this island. So let's just see what's going on here at the entrance. I'm already getting such a beautiful, just overall feel from this island. This is so stunning, the way that they are using the different codes that they have. I love the different pink flowers all throughout as well, and just those little pops of color. It's really giving me a mix of that vintage aesthetic, but also that kind of grandma core vibe. Feels a little bit like fairy tale with some of these mushroom elements, and I'm just absolutely loving the overall vibe of this island already. I think this is a really nice start to the island, and we're seeing also some of that really beautiful waterscaping coming in here as well. So I just want to take a closer look at some of these details, some of the codes that they're using. Lots of really cute little bunny codes, and lots of really nice picnic codes as well. These little blanket codes all throughout. I know it's really hard to find nice picnic blanket codes, so I will do the best I can. Those are always really hard for me to gather because there's so many different blanket codes out there, but I will do my very best to get you guys some of these codes because these are just a really nice selection of codes all throughout, and I have a feeling a lot of us will like this overall aesthetic and maybe find a couple of codes here that we may want to use as well. This puddle code, for instance, is so good. That's one of my favorite codes. I think we're gonna go to the left first. It's just calling me because I see that little bridge over here, and I'm just interested in what is kind of over this way. So I'm just gonna open up the camera a little bit just to get a better view of some of this terraforming, and it is really nice. I think it's so difficult to waterscape well. I think it's the hardest thing to do in this game, and I really like these skinny little waterways that they've made. It, like I said, is not easy to do, so lots of inspiration just from their waterscaping. Over here, there's just so many cute little filler areas. I feel like this is one of those islands you can definitely spend a lot of time on, just taking in some inspiration on how they're curating items and how they are setting up these small areas. Over here, I'm seeing this really cute little kind of it's not really a cafe, but we have that bistro table over here, and I just think overall this setup is really charming. We have lots of really pretty codes being used all throughout here. Even the little touches like the jam being on top of that little wooden box, I think works really nicely. So it's just a really pretty way to lead right up to resident services. So I really just appreciate a lot of the work that they've done on this island. Even incorporating these peach trees throughout just adds a really nice little pop of color. Over here, this is a really great just piece of inspiration for having a little flower shop, especially if you want to do it in a more natural way and more organic feel to it. Lots of different codes underneath here, and then just a really nice little mix of different stools to kind of create these varying heights, which I think is really important when you're creating a small little area like this, and it just looks very good. I'm going to kind of continue back along this little dirt path over here and see where this will lead us to. So it's looking like this leads us right over to Able Sisters, and I have to say that this is the cutest little picnic blanket layout that I think I've seen. I really like that they chose to use a diamond shape for the picnic blanket. Makes it feel a lot more interesting and fills in that kind of negative space around or inside of this pathing, which it just is really, really nice. We're seeing a lot of these like teddy bears throughout too. So it's giving me a very like cozy grandma aesthetic, which I like a lot. And I think it works really nicely over here by Able Sisters as well. Lots of the little like sewing items also, which of course just makes sense for Able Sisters. I'm going to come up this way because there was a couple little like details over here that I didn't want to miss, and this will give us a little bit of a different view of that bridge that we saw before. But this is a really cute little fishing spot. I love the little duck over here. These little ducks are starting to become my favorite. I am a big fan of the decoy ducks, but these just have a little bit more of a playful, cutesy feel to them. So I really appreciate it, especially with an island like this. And then over here to the left of the entrance, another cute little picnic setup. I have to say this island probably took them so long because all of these little areas take a long time to create. At least for me, I spent a lot of time thinking about like the perfect setup for these small filler areas, and I just think that this probably took a really long time just because there's so much thought that it looks like went into all of this. So really cute little layout over here by Able Sisters, lots of little clothes on display, and then this is really smart to add this little laundry area right by Able's. I think it's really a good idea to kind of create areas and spaces based on what you're decorating around. I know that seems kind of straightforward, but if you're ever getting stuck on what to do around a certain building, I think getting creative, like creating this laundry area by Able's, makes a ton of sense. So I think it really just adds a little something to that area. And then I saw this over here leading us over to a peninsula. And this is so magical. I feel like I'm in a little, I don't know, like a fairy tale. It almost gives me like Alice in Wonderland vibes somehow, just because we have, I don't know what this item is, but it just feels, I don't know, it just feels very magical. Not to say that word a million times, but I'm loving all of the pink coming through here. Even the addition of the little star fragments on the floor, I think it works really nicely. Just a little kind of tea area, and then adding in this bed here, that is just such a smart idea. I really, really like this. This might be one of my favorite peninsulas I've ever seen, just because of how different it is, and I really like the way that they made use of this very small space. I'm going to come back around this way because I think we've seen mostly what we could to like the front left of the island. So I think from here, what we're going to do is go through resident services and to the back left. So if we go over here to the left of resident services, it looks like there's lots of other little cute seating areas, and then this little bike rental over here, which I think is a really smart idea if you have a small space like this. And it also works really nicely right by resident services. Like you're kind of just getting to the island, need to rent a bike to get around. I think it's a perfect idea for a little filler area. And then we have this really nice kind of opposite facing, I don't know if that's the right word, for these inclines, which I think is really pretty, which you can also get a beautiful view down below here. This is just so stunning. It definitely has all of the like metalcore aesthetic, just so good. Just such a nice use of all of these flowers without making it feel like too cluttered. So I really am appreciating that, and I cannot wait to explore down there a little bit more. If we come over here to the left, there's some little like laundry areas. I also love this little design here of the like bag with flowers in it. I think it's so fitting for this island, and I'm just really liking it, along with this little like flower passcode as well. I think that there's really something to be said about how many different path codes, how many different colors are on this island, and how it still somehow feels cohesive and not too overwhelming. They just did a really nice job at this aesthetic and theme that they were going for. So I am really happy that we were touring this one. I've been following this creator for a while, and when I saw that they had posted their dream address, I was really excited because, like I've said in some other videos, I feel like I haven't been touring as many natural islands, and this always makes me a little bit nostalgic for when I first got the game, and I was so into natural islands, which I still am, but I haven't been seeing as many lately. So this is really just beautiful over here as well. We have this little pop of red with the door, and then some of these more mushroom items coming through again. So I'm just once again getting this like fairy tale feel of this island, just because it feels like a little magical fairy forest almost. Really pretty little terraforming over here as well. Their waterscaping is so good. I think now we will go down this incline over here. I was dying to just check this out. This is like all of these like flower fields, or maybe more of this like meadowcore aesthetic over here, but look at that terraforming. That is honestly jaw-dropping. It's so good the way that they terraformed those waterfalls. It is beautiful. Even the way that they added in that bridge in the middle and this little like kind of piece of land surrounded by water, I think it just adds so much more dimension to the space and makes it just so much more interesting. You can also kind of come around here. I think I could probably jump over here as well, which is really fun. It just is kind of cute, and I don't know, it's lovely to walk around this island. You can also get different views from being over here, which I like a lot. I think I could actually maybe just turn the camera this way as well. That's a really pretty little setup here. I always love carving out a piece of land surrounded by water and creating a little picnic area like this, so I definitely think that this is one of my favorite little areas on the island. I'm gonna come back this way though because I couldn't get through. I want to come around this way and just go over the bridge now. So yeah, coming through this way, you can get just to the other side. I couldn't get through before, as you can see here, but I don't know, this just seems like such a relaxing little place to sit, have some tea, read. I am definitely getting what they were going for with this overall theme. So I always think that's really cool when you can just tell exactly what this creator's aesthetic is potentially in real life, but also what they may be going for just for their island. I'm gonna come around this way as well. I think this little ribbon is a nice touch also. And then again, I could probably spend all day talking about all the little details, but I'm gonna try to just like walk around sort of slowly so we can take it in, and I'll stop and chat about anything that I think we should point out. But this is really cute also, this little kind of painting area. Again, tons of really good ideas for filler spaces. So this is definitely one of those islands that if you're feeling stuck, need some inspiration, or just filling up like finishing pieces on your island, this is definitely one that I would recommend coming to visit for some of that inspiration. This is so pretty here. We have this like diagonal flower field, and again we're seeing a lot of the pink, so it's a little bit of a mixture of pink and white, and then these diagonal like kind of grass pathways in between, and this little wood path coming through here is such a good little touch. Makes it feel so kind of playful, and it just is it fits very nicely. I think also adding in different items throughout here is very helpful, like the little bunny or the dog. It definitely helps break up some of these longer pieces of grass. I'm going to come through this way now, and look at this. I love these facing inclines. I think that is so good. Adding in that little alarm clock is a really nice touch, especially if you are going for a little bit of that like magical feel. There's something about the alarm clock that feels very magical to me. So I think that works really nicely, and this just right here is such a beautiful layout. I feel like this could look good on any type of island, so definitely saving that for some inspiration later. I'm gonna go up the left side one since we were starting with more of the left side of the island, and we have this really cute house over here. It has a little bit of a mix of like this cream color and a light pink, so very fitting with just the overall color palette of this island, and just stunning. I have no other words. And Oh my God, is this a little sunken neighborhood? I love it. Absolutely love this so much. There's nothing I love more than neighborhood builds in this game, but on top of that, the sunken aspect is so good. It just adds so much dimension. I love the way that they did this. I love that backwards incline. I'm really just in absolute awe. This is definitely my favorite little spot of the island so far. Let's see if we come down here. I love that they're mixing up the types of codes that they're using. We have more of this like wooden code on the floor here, which looks really nice. I think that it definitely breaks up some more of these natural areas, which I definitely am a fan of, kind of playing with the codes that you're using and switching it up throughout your island. Back this way, we have one of the resident reps tents, which I really like this little pop of yellow back here. It's so good. I think that they just have nailed this like very aesthetic Animal Crossing kind of theme. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, especially if you're on like Animal Crossing Instagram. They're really good at it. I love it. And I really like that they added in so much to the beach area, because they could have very easily left this kind of empty and it still would have looked great. But I like that they made it this little laundry area over here, and even this fun little place to kind of have some cake and coffee, and adding in that like green coat on the beach. I think I've done this before on my spring islands. It definitely adds a little bit of contrast, and I think it works really nicely. I am going to come back around this way, and let's see, back here, I feel like we're probably going to get over here later, but I just want to kind of see what is going on. I saw this pergola, and the pergolas definitely are a nice touch on this island because we have so many flowers all throughout. But look at this cute little like tea area. I love this. I know like sometimes it's hard to think about creating like a cafe of sorts when you're doing a natural island and you don't want to be too structured, but this is a perfect way to do something like this and just kind of surround it by trees so it still has that like kind of closed in feeling, but still feel really natural and overgrown. I think before I go too far to the right, I should probably head back up this way. I feel like I've missed a couple of things towards the middle of the island and I don't want to go too far back. So I think we'll get back over there as we continue. But yeah, let's come through this way. I will feel better. Yes, love it. I see now how everything is connected. So perfect. I just always get afraid that I'm going to miss certain areas of the tour if I take different routes along the way. So I'm glad we kind of circled back to where we were. Over here, they have the museum in this like second stage. So it's not fully upgraded, and it works so well to keep it in this like medium brown color rather than the fully upgraded version. I want to do this for my island also because I don't love the new upgrade of the museum, and you can just tell that this color palette works so much better with an island like this, with just the tones and colors that they're using throughout. Lots of cute little things here. I actually really like this museum build a lot, which we all know the museum is very annoying to work with. Coming up here, lots of cute little areas. I love that we have some of these crops coming in, and even having this piece of carrot cake and also the full carrot cake with the bunnies. This is so cute because bunnies eat carrots, right? I don't know why I'm like drawing a blank, but I'm pretty sure they do. This feels like a very like bunny focused island, and I love that they have this little area. This is just very, very charming. And the little like pansies here that they ran through so that they look like strawberries. And then we have the strawberry sign. 10 out of 10. This is a really good build over here. I think we'll come back over here after, but I just want to follow this pathway back and see what is leading us back here. So we have this little bunny picnic in the back as well. And what I really like about this cliff is that it's all about the, like, to me, like these little bunnies living their life, but we have different areas with different colors. So this is a lot brighter, lots of the whites and a little bit of green coming through here. So definitely getting creative with just the colors that they're using throughout while keeping on theme, which is really difficult to do. Also over here, we have this little kind of bridge moment, which works really nicely just to kind of add some visual interest to this cliff. Something I definitely want to keep in mind whenever I get stuck on some of these kind of filler areas. You can make them so much more exciting just by adding in a little waterscaping, a bridge, and then these cute little picnic areas just work so nicely. Even a little place over here with the tourist telescope to look out. The bunnies are honestly living such a nice little life over here. Look how cute this little area is. Oh my gosh, that little mirror, that little flower mirror, I've never seen it in the game before. But how cute would that be to have in real life? They definitely must make something like that, I feel like on Amazon or something. So cute. Once again, I can't stop saying that I love this island, but it just is giving me very good vibes all throughout. I'm going to kind of wrap back around this way and see what we have going on. Maybe not that way, up a little bit further over here. I know that we went up this little incline, so we definitely missed a couple of little things throughout. So since we came through from the other incline, I noticed that we have this one here as well. And if you follow this down, this leads to this very magical forest area. We have the glowing moss pond and then all of the little bunnies surrounding here in a little bit of a like bunny fairy circle, which is super cute. Lots of the like glowing moss items as well and flowers coming through here. Just absolutely love it. And then also this little bridge transition area. The way that they're placing their bridges is just it's very thoughtful, and I think it's always adding something to the space. If we didn't have this bridge here, it wouldn't have been as exciting to look at. So I really like that we have these little moments of transitions by using little bridges and waterways in between. Before I actually go over that bridge, I do want to come back down around this way because I think that there was a couple little things over here, just little cute like picnic areas, lots of these little bunny filler areas as well. And you can even come up all the way over here and see this little hidden cute spot, which I really adore. But I think we'll come back around this way once we fully see the right side of the island. So we'll be back over there once we finish up the right side and wrap back around. So over here we have another villager house, definitely a gardener that lives here, lots of cute flowers all throughout. And then up this way a little bit of a like kind of workshop area, which I think is really cute. Very smart for this villager's house because it definitely seems like there's someone that works outside, maybe gets into some just like decorating and overall like yard work, I guess. So that I think is a smart idea also. And as we come back around this way, I love when people use these little cutout standy doors to lead you to another area. So I'm really liking that. But before we get too far back there, I do want to see what we have over here, which looks to be the campsite with a little barbecue area, of course. And then very cute little setup here. I think if you're ever stuck on what to do with your campsite, adding in some of these picnic blankets and a little kids tent to make it feel like a larger campground is really smart. I am such a big fan of just the way that they curate these items. I'm getting so much inspiration of things that I wouldn't have thought to kind of pair together. And I'm constantly in awe of literally every area that I see on this island. And they even decorated the beach for the campsite, which I think is really smart because, you know, whoever's staying here has their own little private beach area. Looks like a little cafe and places to sit. Love the little baby carriage, one of my fave items. Little cute lounge chairs as well. And that design they have on the umbrella is so good. So fitting for this theme. I'm going to come loop back around this way and go through this area where we have this really nice little meadow back here. Looks like it's some lavender that we're growing, and then that leads you right over to the secret beach. How precious is that? I love the duck again, but You know what? I have totally forgotten about this like little log lounge chair, and it's so good. Such a good item. I miss that item. I think we got so many new items from 2.0 that we forgot about some of the just classics from the beginning of the game. But I think what we're seeing here, honestly, is that they're breaking up these areas with different colors. And I think it really helps just keep the island feeling interesting and fun. If we come up here, okay, cool. So we had seen this area already. So that kind of just makes us have a little bit of a reorientation moment, which I always love. But let's see. I think we saw this back area over here. There's nothing else behind the campsite. So I think what makes sense for us to do is kind of come back up this way and check out anything that we may have missed. I know there's still a lot of stuff to the front right of the island, and this is probably not the right way to go, but I'm doing it anyway. Sorry. So, okay. Like I said, this is probably not the intended way to get over here, but you know what? We do what we have to do. This is over to the very right front of the island, and this is such a cool little layout for their pier area. I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone do this, where you put your villager house right by your pier. And I have to say, this is such a cool idea. I actually think, like, if you're feeling kind of stuck or burnout and you can fit a house by your pier, how fun would it be to decorate something like this? I think 9 times out of 10, the hardest part of building is just figuring out the layout that you want, but decorating is always really fun. And seems like such a good layout to grab inspiration from. I love this whole little idea. The fencing in front works so nicely. And then some little cute areas over here, little places to just sit, relax, have a cup of coffee. And then we're back on this little cute green meadow. So colorful, so fun. I think that there's something to be said about how much color they're using, and it's still feeling so cohesive and aesthetic. I think that's really, really hard to do. And we have really cute little kind of cafe areas over here as well. I'm gonna go up this incline because I don't think we have been up here yet. And we have oh my gosh, how cute is this villager house? See, somehow they made that little soft serve ice cream cone work really well. And I think that in itself deserves an award, because I always thought that item was really cute. I never knew how to use it. And if you have a little aesthetic like this, I think you just got to lean into it. Like all of the pinks that they're using over here. So good. I'm feeling very, very inspired from this one. Oh my gosh, look at this little land bridge area. This terraforming is unreal. That is so hard to do with the way that they did all of those like little waterfalls. I just love this little natural land bridge so much. And then look at how pretty this is with the inverted pathing. And when I say inverted pathing, I'm talking about that they put this like dirt path down, and then they put the green path on top to kind of they put the green path on the outside of wherever they'd want the actual path to be. So whatever is kind of peeking through from the green ends up becoming the actual path. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but hopefully you guys know what I meant. I just love this kind of technique, and it works really nicely in front of this little resident rep house. The starter house is so cute, so once again fitting for this island. We have lots of really cute little seating areas throughout here, little places to have some cookies, tea, biscuits, scones, whatever. And over here again, so much just little detail all throughout. The pink blanket. I want to live on this island. That's it. I decided I want to be accepted as a villager here. So I think if we come up this way and come loop back around, I think there's only a couple little areas that we may have missed. We've definitely seen a good amount of the island, but I don't think we ever came up this way and saw nooks. How good. Nooks looks absolutely amazing. I love the way that they just messed around with all of these little codes, kind of played around with mixing them all together. Definitely has a very kind of community feel over here with all the little places to sit and eat, even this little kitchen. I really like that they took that direction with Nooks, because it does feel like Nooks Cranny would kind of be a very kind of community meeting spot. And I think that this looks just so good. And again, so many different items being used that somehow just work together. We've ended up over here in this little kind of cute music area. I love this so much. We have a little piano over here, lots of layered blankets, so many different things that they've kind of mixed together, which really adds to this island feeling very lived in and homey. I think that's really what brings an island together, is just kind of curating lots of different cute items together that somehow work and make you feel like someone has actually left that there, like the little guitar ukulele on the floor. You can just kind of imagine people hanging out in these spaces. And then over here we have a little strawberry farm again, which I've mentioned it before, but if you kind of run through the pansies, those will create these little flowers that look like strawberries. So it works really nicely right over here. And again, little places to kind of grab something to eat. Lots of baked goods on this island. Again, I'm getting very much that grandma core aesthetic coming through, which I think is really a nice touch. I think this is back over by the entrance, so I'm just gonna kind of loop around to the right again, because we've definitely missed a couple of tiny things. But this would be if we went to the right when we came in instead. And that's where these two little pink houses were that we kind of just walked by. But I love that with these little neighborhoods, they're really kind of mixing together houses that match. So the one on the left is actually a resident rep house that's so pink and cute. And then the one on the right is just a regular villager house, but they've definitely customized it to have more of that pink aesthetic, which works really beautifully. Lots of just great little areas all throughout here. And then if we come over this bridge, this is just so nice. I think that this is to the right of resident services. So this makes a lot of sense, because over here it's almost like we have this little welcome area where you can maybe grab a little kind of map of the island. There's a little phone there. I think it's just really cool to see how on different island themes people approach similar spaces. So a kind of town meeting area or an information center would look so different on this island than a structured city island. And I think that's what's so fun about touring these islands. So have we missed anything? I do feel like there's maybe a couple of things behind resident services that we haven't got to, just more towards the right of the island. So I'm not sure. I don't know if I can get through. I don't think that way. Let's kind of come back and I'll just do a really quick little run through just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Okay, so I realized that when we went over this land bridge before, there's actually this little pathway over here that I definitely just completely missed. But this is really cool. You can kind of come through this way, and there's this little hidden area over here, which I really like this. I like that there's this little avenue over here that I probably would have missed if I didn't kind of see little peekings of this house before. But I noticed that we have a little villager house over here with just some really cute little decor around, little laundry areas, things like that. And then coming up over this way, there is this other villager house over here, which I believe we actually did see. Yes, I think we just didn't come through back around this way before. So this may be the only little area that we missed. I think if I come up here as well, we maybe missed this area as well, which has this little bear picnic. I think that this is so cute. I love, again, just how charming and playful this island is. The way that they're incorporating the bears and the little bunnies interacting with these little spaces, I think works really nicely. And this view all together, that bridge in the, or not bridge, that incline in the background really adds a lot to this layout. So this was right behind that little like pink area that we saw before. Lots of cute little things over here as well, these little filler spaces. I think we had been over here, yes. So there's just one more spot that we have missed, which I see now, and it is this little food truck area. I'm not sure if I was supposed to come through this way or not. I'm not sure how else to get over here though. Maybe this way? Okay, cool. Got it. I don't know how I missed this before because we were over here. This was this little pink and white setup, but I guess I just didn't walk through this way. There's this really cute little food truck right by this meadow where you can get some jam and some bread. Very farmer's market feel to it. Very fitting once again for this island. So I don't have enough good words to say for this island. I think that this is one of my absolute favorites at the moment. Just love how fun and colorful it is. The aesthetic is absolutely on point, as we can have all seen. I would love to hear what you guys thought about this one. Let me know what kind of video you'd like to see next. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.